Boy, are we priests in trouble with these readings. Malachi and Jesus are really angry with the church leaders, the synagogue leaders. What's happening in Malachi, he's criticizing the priests of the temple because they've just come back from exile in Babylon. They're trying to reestablish order in the community, but the priests are not doing their share. What's happening is that in Hebrew law, if you're going to bring a gift to the temple, it must be a perfect offering. So it must be a perfect lamb, it must be a perfect animal. But what was happening is the people would bring the perfect offering, and the priest would substitute it for something else and sell it off and take the money. And Malachi saw that, and he was really angry with that. Here people are giving of themselves, and you're not using it for its proper purpose. And at today's reading from Matthew, Jesus is looking around the room, and he's telling the people, listen to the scribes and Pharisees, but don't do what they do. Do what you're supposed to do. Do the right thing, because they're not doing it. And then he goes on to list the things that are going on. They preach, but they don't practice. They put heavy burdens on people. They won't lift a finger to help them to ease their burden. And everything they do seems to be for show. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. But they're not really helping anybody. And of course, they like their titles. That's the big thing. I like my titles. And there's quite a deal here about how we treat one another. Basically, what's happening in Malachi's reading and in the gospel reading today is it's a crisis of leadership. The leaders are taking advantage of the people. They're using them for themselves and not for the greater good of all. There's polarization, disheartening, gridlock, and we see it all around us. We see it in our governments around the world, where people don't work with each other, they work for themselves. They don't help and lift the burdens of people, they make it more onerous for them. And that's what Malachi and Jesus are talking about. Even in our church today, there's a lot of dissent and anger and backbiting and nastiness. I'm wondering, we as older people, what example are we showing to our young people? If they see us putting burdens and being nasty to people, how are they going to treat people when they become adults? We need men and women, young and old, who are going to be true leaders, who are going to say the right thing and do the right thing, to help people, to reach out to them, to make sure that everybody is taken care of and no one is left out. Jesus and Malachi were rightfully angry at the way people were being treated. And even Paul is saying in his letter, I'm not here to put a burden on you. I'm here to bring you the gospel. And whether we're ordained or we're lay people, each and every one of us, by our baptism, is called to proclaim the gospel of the risen Lord, and to be a people who will lead people by right example, by doing the right thing, and making sure that people are treated with love and respect. Life is cyclical. We've had our good times and bad times. And hopefully there will be men and women who will step forward, both young and old, who will lead us in such a way that we focus on the true Christ, what it's about, making sure Christ is the center of our lives, that we take what we are called to do and act on it appropriately. We cannot give up hope. We need to be a people who know that things can get better, but each and every one of us must do our part. It's all right if you call me Jim, too. I don't care.
Thank you for joining us today. Our digital ministry provides a valuable service to parishioners and visitors alike. How wonderful that we can share God's Word, the celebration of the Eucharist, and other important words and events with those who may not be able to be with us in person. If you would like to support this effort, please go to olphglenview.org. Click on the gold donate button and then the Sunday giving icon to make a contribution on our secure online giving portal. We sincerely appreciate your past and ongoing support. Thank you for helping us continue this ministry. God bless.